With you in Oxford News this week, I'm Jim Hughes. Terry Stiles off. She'll be back again next week. Lending security to Oxford and a week to remember. More on this special edition of Oxford News this week. Back with you in Oxford News this week, and yes, Terry Stiles off. I'm here solo today. She'll be back again next week. ZeroEyes has an intelligence system to detect close to nearly 200 different firearms before anyone is even considered posing a threat and might even get a chance to fire a gun. Combining its gun technology and detection, existing surveillance cameras at schools and or workplaces, ZeroEyes is able to detect firearms as soon as they become visible. Military veterans familiar with the operating calmly in the highly stressful situations monitor the systems around the clock, analyze any images detected, and notify their clients of first responders. Unlike a lot of video monitoring services, analysts for ZeroEyes are not flooded with countless camera feeds. Instead, the analyst sits in front of a blank screen that only displays an image when their technology embedded in the surveillance camera detects any firearm. And in less than 5 seconds, again, they notify their clients. Human analyst is able to verify whether the highlighted image is actually a firearm and avoid a false positive. If the image is an actual firearm, the analyst immediately sends an alert to their clients and the first responders in that area. The alert includes a visual image and location of the subject. ZeroEyes is currently being used in schools across the country in 18 states, including some here in Michigan. Oxford High School administrators are said to be evaluating the situation and the new technology service beyond their free pilot program with the company. More information can actually be found at ZeroEyes. It can be found on their website, zeroeyes.com. More than 100 students walked out of class on Thursday. About lunchtime is when it happened, filing out of the double doors at the high school to get together on the football field. The action was to show support of the students, facility, staff, and families coping with the massacre of last week at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. According to an educator who declined to give her name, the students stood on the field for a few minutes, forming the shape of the letter U, exchanging hugs, and then they filed back into school building roughly around 12:35 p.m. A spokesman said the district wrote in a statement that the district was made aware of the walkout planned at the schools, and also added the additional trauma specialists were available to the students this week if they were needed in Oxford. As to hear the news from the Texas shooting and massacre, Emily Bush, the parent of a freshman student, said she was very proud to watch her child participate. Oxford, again, the scene of the November 30th mass shooting, which killed again 4 students, injuring 6 and a teacher. It claims Oxford employees ignored a district progress to students experiencing suicidal ideation, as a 15-year shooter, of course, did what he did, clearly appeared to meet these standards. Johnson shared a copy of Oxford's suicide intervention policy at Monday news conference. 4 students, again, Hannah St. Juliana, Tate Meir, Justin Schilling, and Madison Baldwin, and 6 other students and 1 teacher were also injured in that shooting. Again, court cases have already begun and are underway. Michigan, recent Oxford High School graduate and Oxford Cup winner Hannah Gibbons designed a shirt to show Oxford sending love and support to Uvalde, with the great response garnered from all those who seen it. Gibbons is offering the shirt and sweatshirts for the sale, with proceeds going to benefit the staff and the students of Robb Elementary School in Texas. 4 students again were killed and 7 injured again here in Oxford. Again, we just reiterated that. In Uvalde, 19 children, 2 teachers were killed in Uvalde Middle School. That happened last week on Tuesday. If you would like to help out and show your support, you can log on and pick up a shirt and help out the cause. Preparing for a day of respect and remembrance. Again, last week, Memorial Day, those row of crosses in downtown Oxford that you see every year in Centennial Park were all set up by the Boy Scout Troop 366. They set them up on Saturday morning for the Monday morning commemoration. Scouts spent about an hour preparing their annual tribute to all the Oxford students who had, all the Oxford residents who had died serving conflicts, ranging from the American Civil War to the Vietnam War, as the names are honored dead are read during the Memorial Day ceremony. Again, we thank the PAC 366 for doing that diligent effort every year. Keeping on the Memorial Day theme, veterans buried in the Oxford cemeteries have brand new American flags marking their graves thanks to the members of the American Legion Walter Fraser Post 108. Members of Cub Scout Pack 186 and Boy Scout Troop 186 in Lake Orion, carrying armfuls of flags, draped them prior to any of the memorial commemorations. The veterans and scouts spent a gorgeous Saturday morning walking up and down the rows of graves, searching for headstones bearing the name of men and women who had served in the military. When a veteran's grave was found, a flag was planted beside his or her final resting place. Again, Oxford Township wants to thank Post 108, Pack 186, Troop 186 for their efforts. Again, we appreciate the commitment to the community. Shirley Atchison, the 93-year-old owner of the Ridgelawn Memorial Cemetery at 99 West Burdick, helps prepare the grounds for Memorial Day. Shirley's family has owned and operated and cared for that cemetery since 1927. The year her grandfather William O. Smith established the Oxford Memorial Day observations will again take place every year on Monday, May 30th. It will begin downtown Oxford. Centennial Park is where all the beginning commemorations begin, prayers and the laying of wreaths. Again, serving all the veterans past and present in the Oxford area. Oxford residents who died while serving in the conflicts again range from the Civil War to Vietnam. Again, Oxford Middle School choir director Jan Flynn served as a guest speaker and joined the district in January 2002, the founder and organizer of the annual Americana concerts that we actually used to show here in November, Veterans Day, established in 2003. The American concert consists of approximately 200 Oxford Middle School choir students performing a variety of patriotic songs. Flynn also sees the concert as a way to honor veterans, connect with the community, teach students of tremendous sacrifices that the veterans have made for them and their future generations. Immediately following the ceremony in the Memorial Day Parade, it will head north again. It heads north on Washington M24 and then proceed west on Burdick to the Ridgelawn Memorial Cemetery. Again, that taking place this past Monday. We are editing. We had camera crews out there. Look for that to appear here on OCTV. Oxford residents at Oxford Township Municipal will find out the quality of their drinking water by going online. All you have to do is go online, and the good news is the water was given a thumbs up for quality. Residents can view the 2021 Consumer Confidence Report, which provides information on the source and quality of the area drinking water by going to the website oakgov.com/Oxford Township CCR.com. You can see that report. According to the report, the water sources groundwater found in glacial materials, 11 wells, 1 6-inch, 3 8-inch, and 7 12-inch. Provide pumping capacity for this well water supply system. Where again, they are pleased at the report that your drinking water is safe and meets all federal and state requirements. The report also details information on contaminants in the water systems, including about lead, arsenic, fluoride, lead, and copper amounts. As an addendum to that story, I know we have a few microbreweries, and one of their main reasons to move here was Oxford's water. With all that, we're going to take a slight break. Dave Kenny and I'll be back with some sports, and I'll conclude the news out again. Terry out today. We'll be right back with more on Oxford News This Week.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. In our first story, Mercedes-Benz USA is recalling more than 290,000 U.S. vehicles for a defect that might reduce brake performance or cause brake failure, increasing the risk of a crash. The recall covers certain ML Class, GL Class, and R Class vehicles, including some diesel and hybrid electric models from the 2006 to 2012 model years. Mercedes-Benz has issued a stop drive notice for the affected vehicles. The German luxury automaker said the function of the brake booster on those vehicles might be affected by corrosion in the joint area of the housing because of moisture accumulation, according to a safety recall report submitted May 11th to NHTSA. After extended time in the field and in conjunction with significant water exposure, this corrosion might lead to a leakage of the brake booster. In this case, the brake force support might be reduced, including, that is to say, leading to an increase in the brake pedal forces required to decelerate the vehicle, the report said. In rare cases of severe corrosion, brake failure might occur. Continental Tire Americas in Fort Mill, South Carolina, makes the brake booster, according to the report. Mercedes-Benz told U.S. safety regulators that it has confirmed that there are no crashes, injuries, or deaths related to the defect. To fix the issue, dealers will inspect the brake booster housing for corrosion and might have those parts replaced as necessary. Dealers were notified on May 12th, and vehicle owners will be notified by May 27th. In our next story, Cadillac plans to launch a high-performance variant of the popular Escalade SUV this summer that starts at nearly $150,000. It will become the most expensive Cadillac, or about $46,000 more than the highest-priced 2022 Escalade trim, the Sport Platinum. The 2023 Escalade V, the first-ever Cadillac V-Series SUV, will be built in small volumes, Cadillac said. The SUV packs a supercharged, hand-built 6.2-liter V8 engine with a 10-speed automatic transmission, a combination that produces 682 horsepower and 653 pounds-feet of torque. The V-Series branding means that the full-size SUV will be capable of zipping from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. But the Escalade V is meant for everyday use, not the track use for which the Cadillac V-Series Blackwing models are known. From a racetrack standpoint, I think most people understand that as a full-size SUV with a center of gravity that's so high, they're not really designed for true performance and true track experiences, said Dave Chavone of GM. General Motors' Super Cruise hands-free driver assist technology will be optional, priced at around $2,500, and Cadillac expects late availability because of tight global microchip supplies. Cadillac has prioritized Escalade output during the chip shortage, making it the brand's top-selling U.S. nameplate in 2021 and the first quarter. Cadillac is launching the Escalade V as it prepares to ramp up an electric vehicle portfolio. Cadillac began limited production of the Lyriq electric midsize crossover in March, and the brand plans to go all electric by 2030. Dealers will sell the Escalade V through traditional allocations. Cadillac will not open a reservation system for the SUV. The V-Series will also be available on the longer Escalade SEV or ESV. Cadillac has not released pricing for the Escalade ESV V-Series, but the traditional ESV starts at around $3,000 more than the normal Escalade. The traditional Escalade will receive minor updates, such as additional colors for the 2023 model year, Chavone said. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back.
Do you love local sports? Whether it's Oxford High School or Parks and Rec, you can buy copies of each game. To purchase your copy, call us at 248-628-9658 or give us an email at manager@occtv.org or talk to us at the next game. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Back with you with Oxford Sports, or I guess I should say Oxford High School events. The sports is kind of taking a break. We may be covering some of that before the end of the year, but right now this stretches back a few weeks ago, but we want to give the kudos to the Oxford High School first robotics competition team. That is team number 2137. The RoboCats completed, again, a Friday and Saturday competition in the First in Michigan Rochester District event at Stony Creek High School. Two students, Alexandra Foster and Wyatt Ashley, won the Dean's List Award, and the team made the quarterfinals. With the robot students who obtained the Dean's List Award status are amazing examples of student leaders who have brought an increased awareness of FIRST and its mission to their communities and teams. Winning this award now qualifies Foster and Ashley to compete against other Dean's List Award winners from other districts and regional events and Michigan State Championship at Saginaw Valley University. Again, we'd like to congratulate our team, our robotics team, as one of the many things that happen up at the high school. And again, they are definitely on a way to see what they can do in the championship. Again, the RoboCats, part of the Oxford robotics team, has gone on to do some great things, and they're able to show us what we can do with robots. Robots' next competition will be at Belleville High School, and we will have the results on that in our future broadcast. That's going to wrap it in sports. Again, we will be covering more sports as it relevance. I'll be back in a moment with closeout of the news, and I think Dave Kenny has one more segment on Oxford News This Week.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Circular cities have more rain than square cities, and triangular cities have the least rain of all, a finding from a modeling study that could help urban planners tackle the effects of climate change. Deb Naogi at the University of Texas in Austin and his colleagues decided to investigate the link between the shape of an urban area and its rainfall after noticing that weather data from roughly circular cities such as Dallas and London often show more rain than triangular cities such as Chicago and Los Angeles, but it wasn't clear if this was due to their shape or other factors such as location. We see cities change their shape as they grow, so understanding if there is a feedback between city shape and storminess was a question that needed to be answered, says Naogi. To find out more, Naogi and his colleagues combined high-resolution simulations of air turbulence and a weather forecasting model to simulate rainfall for circular, square, and triangular cities with the same area at both generic coastal and inland locations. They found that circular cities receive 22% more rainfall than triangular cities, and that it is 78% more intense, while square cities saw 8% more than triangular ones. The differences were even more pronounced in coastal locations because the contrast between maritime and urban air tends to be even greater, which drives stronger convection. We typically get rainfall when two different air masses meet together, he says. A circular city allows air masses coming from all directions to converge at the center of the city, creating an intense mixing zone and leading to convection and rain. For other city shapes, such as triangles or squares, air masses entering around the corners will meet early and consume energy before they reach the city center, says team member Juanchan Yang at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Large areas of concrete and tarmac make cities particularly vulnerable to heavy rainfall and flooding, and the combination of increasing urbanization and global warming is expected to exacerbate the risk. Recognizing that the design of a city can impact rainfall and flood risk should help urban planners make cities more resilient to the impacts of climate change, says Neogi. Richard Allen at the University of Reading in the UK says the findings are plausible, but thinks it is important that we don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Cutting greenhouse gas and particulate pollution emissions needs to be the greater priority for towns and cities, along with adapting to the increased severity of heat waves and flash flooding driven by warming of the climate, he says. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kinney.
And that'll do it for another edition of Oxford News This Week. Ontario will be back again next week. Again, I'm Jim Hughes. OCTV also can be viewed at Spectrum Charter Channel 191, which my parents are going to probably have to learn to find that. They got Spectrum today. They went from AT&T, and you can find us there too, Channel 99 on AT&T Uverse, YouTube, Rumble, Facebooks. Folks even can download the Roku app. I don't know if it's working, but someone said it should be working. Programming here at OCTV is also available to local groups for producing public service announcements. If you have a show idea, all you have to do is contact our staff here at 248-628-9658. Again, I want to thank Dan Zweiss in the back. He gets it all on, gets the cameras rolling, and takes care of it. Joe Hewitt on the edit. Connie for timing it all in. And normally my friend Terry Stiles here. I'm Jim Hughes. And again, we are going to leave you with a letter that was written in the 1800s on the memory of Memorial Day. We leave you with this. Have a great week. We'll see you next week, everyone. July 14th, 1861, Camp Clark, Washington, D.C. Dear Sarah, the indications are very strong that we shall move in a few days. Perhaps tomorrow, unless I should not be able to write you again, I feel impelled to write a few lines that may fall upon your eye when I am no more. I have no misgivings about or lack of confidence in the cause in which we are engaged, and my courage does not halt or falter. I know how American civilization now leans upon the triumph of the government, and how great the debt we owe those who went before us through the blood and suffering of the Revolution. And I am willing, perfectly willing, to lay down all my joys in this life to help maintain this government and pay that debt. Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me with the mighty cables that beyond impotence that can break. And yet my love of country comes over me like strong wind and bears me irresistibly with all the chains in the battlefield. The memory of all the blissful moments I have enjoyed with you come crowding over me, and I feel most deeply grateful to God and you that I have enjoyed them for so long, and how hard it is for me to give them up and burn to ashes the hopes in future years when, God willing, we might have lived and loved together and see our boys grown up to honorable manhood around us. If I do not return, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I loved you, nor that when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. Forgive me my many thoughts and many pains I have caused you. How thoughtless, how foolish I sometimes have been. But, oh Sarah, if the dead can come back to earth and fit unseen around those they love, I shall always be with you in the brightest day and in the darkest night. Always. Always. And when the soft breeze fans your cheek, it shall be my breath, or the cool air through your temple. It shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me dead. Think I am gone and wait for me, for we shall meet again. Sullivan Ballou was killed a week later at the Battle of Bull Run.